that and cut it up and do whatever he needs to with it.
Yeah.
You want to double check us? Make sure we're good.
Yeah.
Ooh, this camera making me nuts.
We're at 610 subscribers.
Okay.
We've been doing okay on TikTok. The TikTok videos have been getting comments and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's where the traffic's coming from, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Kidding, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we're all right. Everything sounds pretty good.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Give me just a second here. That does me no good. These cameras are so weird. Like sometimes they work right and sometimes they don't. There we go. That's good enough. All right. You ready?
Yep. When you are.
Okay. Here we go.
bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Jack drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, what's going on?
Bwaaa. What's up? Here we
Welcome
go.
to bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
And I am Rusty, and my face looks really, really red in this camera.
You're very pinkish. You've got a pinkish hue.
Let's see if that makes it worse. I don't know. I guess it's warm. Maybe I'm warm, I guess, today.
Maybe you are warm.
I don't know. Warm-blooded, something.
You're as foreigner says. Yeah, now you're orange.
Now I'm orange.
Neat. It's a Simpsons podcast all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a special little thing for you for Christmas. This is, let's see, the day that you are listening to this will be on the 22nd of December.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. I'm sorry, it'd be the 23rd of December. Yeah.
Eve.
So,
the eve of Eve.
Yeah. So it's the penultimate Christmas day. It's the day before Christmas Eve. And so not a regular episode. We're going to do
not at all. We're doing something really weird. I
had ChatGPT write us up a lost episode of King of the Hill, a Christmas episode. And so I'm going to read that, and Rusty's going to kind of react to it if you will allow us such indulgences around the holidays.
Yeah, we're just having fun, guys. Just a lot of funning around.
Funning around, waiting for that big fat man to come in. So, what you got planned for Christmas? Anything big?
Nothing big. Just the average stuff. Watch the kids open all the stuff. You know, my oldest. The gifts get more expensive each year. Kind of thing.
Sure.
So we're at like computers, Xboxes, that kind of stuff. That world. So other than that, I know that I'm getting a pair of Batmobile Crocs.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure that's I shook it and it sounded like Batmobile Crocs. So
well, you know, the wife and I, we've got all grown kids, and so we don't do a whole hell of a lot for each other at Christmas. I get her a little, couple of things that I'll get yelled at about, but that's about it. And then we help our kids with bills and all kinds of stuff throughout the year. So Honestly, we try to treat Christmas as the little bitty kids get stuff, and everybody else just gets to get together. You know?
Yeah, that's what it's about. I'm at that age too, where it's all about the kids and less about the adults. So
yeah, the little ones, they're fun to watch open and stuff. But you could give them an empty box, and it'd be fine. You know?
Yeah, they really are easier to please. It's the older they get that it gets harder to do things for them.
When that capitalism sets in.
Yeah, well, I actually kind of got blessed because my oldest, I got a huge gap in between my oldest and my younger two.
Yeah.
My oldest is 14, and he really is a humble spirit. Like he spent his birthday money on buying his friends games that he already has, so his friends can play with him.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's like he got all this birthday money and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, I got 3 or 4 friends that don't have the game that I have, and I want them to be able to play with me." So he's like, "It's a gift for me to enjoy my friends." So
yeah, that's cool.
so I'm kind of blessed. I didn't really raise him to be, super materialistic and stuff like that, and it kind of stuck. So he doesn't really care too much about that kind of stuff. He's more about, can my friends enjoy whatever I like? Can I make it about my friends more than it's about me, kind of thing. And I appreciate that about him. He's a sweetheart.
That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
When I was a kid, that's the last thing on my mind. When I got my Christmas money, that's my money. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I was buying my friends a lot of stuff.
No, not even now. I don't think I bought my friends too many things.
That's true too.
I think the last time I bought a friend something was when I gifted you the David Letterman.
It's very nice.
Book.
Yeah.
I think that was the last.
I need to get it up on my wall in the new office there.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, had the Robots from Hell write an episode.
Robots from Hell sounds like a terrible movie.
I actually made a cartoon when I was in school called the Clown from Hell, and the clown was a robot.
Off topic a little bit. Well, it's kind of on topic. Have you seen Santa Conquers the Martians?
I have. Yeah.
I think that's a must watch for anybody that's never seen that. That is I
enjoyed that one, and I enjoy.
I think it's like a D movie, not even a B movie. It's like a D movie.
Yeah, and then there's the one Santa versus the Devil, which is great.
I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
It's all in Spanish, but it's very badly dubbed.
Yeah,
and so it just adds to the magic.
Well, I just found this weird. It's called Eternal Family TV, eternalfamily.tv or something like that, and it's a streaming site. But all of the stuff that they have licensed is just stuff like Santa Conquers the Martians and stuff like that. It's just like, what was that one that it was a really weird movie that Tom Hanks was in, Mazes and something in Mazes.
Dungeons and Dragons. He was
like a Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
thing.
It was like Mazes and Mages or something like that.
Mazes and Mages or something like that.
Yeah,
that's on there. So it's just a bunch of weird.
Where they go in the little tunnel under the log and all that stuff. Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's just a bunch of weird stuff like that.
So this one is called, it spit out something called King of the Hill episode, Heir Apparent, Hair. Okay. This is, it comes in several acts. It's not a super long episode, but it did build one. So we're just going to go through this like we would a normal episode, and we'll see what we get. So we get an opening scene. We get the alley with all 4 guys, Hank, Dale, and Bill and Boomhauer, and they're all standing in the alley. It says, beers in hand. The conversation turns to Christmas and gift giving. Bill mentions that he's excited about the angel tree at the Arlen Mall.
Oh.
You ever give to the angel tree? You ever do any of that?
The only angel on trees I know is the ones that sit on top. I've never heard of that.
So
I've heard of Salvation Army and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I've never heard of angel.
The whole idea is the angel tree, that kids will write a note to the angel or Santa or whatever, and they put it on the tree, and it says, I'd really like a bike for Christmas or whatever. And then people that do not know these kids go up and they pick something off the tree, they buy it for the kid, and then it gets to the kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a nice thing, especially at the holidays. Not sure why we don't do it throughout the entire year. But anyway, he's excited about the angel tree at the Arlen Mall. Bill says, guys, when you give the angel tree, you're really giving to an angel. I read it in a pamphlet, which, honestly, for ChatGPT giving Bill that kind of stupidity, I mean, that's not far off the mark.
No, that's not far. Yeah. I mean, it's all that barbicide he's huffed over the years.
That's what it is. It's the barbicide. Hank says, what pamphlet are you talking about, Bill? Angels don't need presents. They're in heaven. They've already got everything they need. Bill says, "Oh, no. It's in the fine print. If you give a really good gift, an angel might visit you to thank you. I've been saving up all year for my best gift ever." So that does sound like something Bill would believe.
Kind of tracks for Bill for sure. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty funny.
Says the others exchange skeptical looks, but they let it slide, knowing that Bill's eccentric, that he has eccentric ideas. Dale mutters something about angels being government spies. So there we go. We got
that tracks.
That does track very much so. Meanwhile, at the Hill household, Bobby is engrossed in his video game when Connie calls him to invite him over. Peggy overhears this conversation and teases Bobby about how much he likes Connie. Peggy says, "Bobby Hill, is that your lady friend I hear?" He goes, "Mom, stop. Connie's my friend, but she's also a lady, so technically, yes." Now, that is an exchange that never would have happened.
No, never. Yeah,
Peggy
never.
is not teasing Bobby about his girlfriend. That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
But later at the Susan phone house, Connie laments to Bobby about needing a new violin bow. Now I've read through this story before, and I want you to understand this part makes zero sense to me. It says Bobby is struck with inspiration after noticing Connie brushing her hair. He decides to get her a gift that will make her feel special. So she just told him how much she needs a new violin bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does that not make sense to you that you would get the girl a violin bow?
It makes sense, but then again, Bobby is nonsensical, so she could say, "I need a violin bow." Oh, you need a hairbrush?
Well, you nailed it right there. Okay, so Act 2. Here's Bobby's plan. Bobby realizes he doesn't have enough money for a fancy hairbrush. He visits Joseph for advice. That's also something that would never happen. You're not asking Joseph for any advice on.
You're not really asking him for much of anything. I don't know if he's somebody you would call on for a lot of different. Unless you needed somebody strong and dumb. I think that would be about it.
Yeah. Joseph says, "Dude, just sell something. Like I sold my skateboard last week to buy Halo." Okay, well, that tracks. Bobby says, "I can't just sell my stuff." Wait, maybe I can. Maybe my game console. So we're getting a little of the what do you call it? Gift of the Magi thing going on here, right?
Yeah.
So
Rob Bobby to pay Paul.
Yes, Joseph is shocked, but Bobby is determined. He brings his console to the pawn shop where he gets enough cash to buy the gold-plated hairbrush. Once again, you don't get into this problem if you just buy the girl a new violin bow.
If you would have got the violin bow, but the violin bow honestly might cost more than a hairbrush.
Gold-plated hairbrush.
Well, gold-painted hairbrush, maybe.
Maybe it is painted. Maybe it is painted. Meanwhile, Connie overhears Con talking about the hottest new video game. That would never happen either. I'm not sure Con's talking about any video games.
Nah, I don't think so either.
But inspired, she decides to get it for Bobby. Without enough money, she visits Min, who suggests selling her long hair to a wig maker. Min says, "It's only hair, Connie. It grows back. Plus, you'll get a new haircut for free." Okay.
Selling hair to a wig maker sounds like a horror movie.
It does. It sounds like it's like giving your what do you call it? It's not it's not blood, but it's the plasma. To like the nth degree. I'm just going to sell my
wig
hair.
Maker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I won't have a firstborn child. Bill is at the Arlen Mall. Bill is browsing the angel tree, so he's looking for a good one. He finds a card requesting a bike for a young girl.
Okay.
Bill says, "A bike. Angels love bikes." Ooh, that's a big leap. He goes, "I bet if I get the nicest bike, I'll get to meet my angel this year." He decides to splurge on a shiny chrome bike, but quickly realizes he can't afford it. In desperation, he asks Hank for advice. Hank says, "Bill, this isn't about impressing angels. It's about helping kids. Just get what you can afford." Bill remains convinced that he needs the fanciest bike to ensure that he gets visited by an angel. Act 3 here of only, I think, 4. Act 3. Bobby and Connie meet up at the park to exchange gifts. Not sure why they're at the park to do it. Bobby proudly presents the hairbrush, but Connie's now short hair makes it less than practical. Bobby says, "I didn't know you cut your hair." Connie says, "I didn't know you sold your console." They laugh at the irony, realizing their sacrifices cancel each other out. So there you go. There's your gift to the Magi, definitely. Now, As far as Bill goes, after finally buying the expensive bike by maxing out his credit card, Bill waits eagerly on Christmas Eve for his angel to appear. He decorates his yard with lights and even sets out milk and cookies. Bill is just kind of muttering to himself. He goes, "Oh, any minute now, she'll swoop down from heaven with her wings all a-glowing." Instead, Dale sneaks into Bill's yard in a makeshift angel costume to prank him. Dale says, "I'm your angel, Bill. Now give me that bike." Bill, now terrified, hands over the bike. Dale is caught by Hank, who forces him to return it. Hank says, "Bill, you can't expect angels to reward you for doing the right thing. That's not how it works." Bill says, "But it felt like a sign." Hank says, "The sign was helping someone who needed it. That's enough." Okay. Here's the other issue I have with ChatGPT. It's always trying to teach me a lesson, and I just don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of
need it.
lesson-based stories. Yeah,
Thank you, robot. I'm good. All right. So on Christmas morning, Bobby and Connie gather with their families. Bobby gives Connie the hairbrush as a keepsake. She places it in her violin case. I thought they had already exchanged presents at the park, but whatever. Connie suggests they play the new game together on her dad's console, turning the situation to a shared experience. Then we go over to Bill. Bill delivers the bike to the angel tree girl and feels genuinely fulfilled when he sees the joy it brings. Bill says, "Maybe this is better than an angel visit after all." And that's the entire episode. That's the whole damn thing. Now, the one thing I was impressed by is ChatGPT during the credits. It says in credits, and then underneath it says the credits roll with scenes of Bobby and Connie playing the game, Hank shaking his head at Dale's angel costume, and Bill proudly admiring the angel tree.
Well, I got one too. So I plugged in "It's a Wonderful Life" as a King of the Hill episode.
Okay. All right.
So I'll go ahead and run through that real fast. It's not too long. So it's called "It's a Wonderful Dale." So it's a Dale. It would be a Dale-centric episode. So it's Christmas time in Arlen. The whole neighborhood's lit up with holiday decorations, and then the camera does like a pan to Hank, and he's got this 12-foot propane tank Santa, an inflatable on his lawn. And then Peggy comes out with some cookies and says, "Hank, don't you think this is a little much?" And he responds, "Peggy, propane Santa is not just a decoration. He's a statement. It's about the true spirit of a clean burning Christmas." So
that's very on brand. Yeah,
it is. I think it's
I could see him building a Santa out of actual like old decommissioned propane tanks.
Yeah, like some kind of like art or whatever, like the metal art with the welding and all that. Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah, and then, maybe like those forks that you use for meat on the grill as hands,
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
So then it cuts to Dale, who's in his yard with a megaphone, accusing passerbys of stealing his Christmas spirit. Okay. That blinking light on your roof is clearly CIA code. I see you, Bill Gates. You're not ruining my holiday. And then that's
Bill Gates and the CIA.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the cold open, and then it goes to Act 1. So Dale's having this rough Christmas season. Nancy's frustrated because he forgot to get Christmas presents. Joseph's embarrassed to invite his friends over because of the conspiracy theory decorations, which is a giant tinfoil Christmas tree, which I thought was pretty funny. And then the guys won't let him in on the Arlen Strickland propane Christmas party planning committee. So he's in the alley, a lot of words, complaining and stuff like that. He says Christmas is just another government psyop to keep us distracted while Big Elf takes all our money.
Big Elf.
I thought that was funny. Yeah, Big Elf. And then Boomhauer replies, "Dang old man, Christmas man ain't about gifts, man. About dang old family and love that dang old eggnog, man." And so Dale brushes him off, mutters that the world would be better off without him. Kind of like in "It's a Wonderful Life," where he gets down and he's
sure,
that whole rigmarole thing. And then while he falls asleep in the basement holding a shotgun he wrapped in tinsel, he wakes up to a mysterious figure standing in his basement. It's his guardian angel, Rusty Shackelford. I thought that was good. That's so his jaw drops. "Rusty Shackelford, you're real?" And Rusty explains to Dale he's here to show him what the world would be like if he had never been born. The same as obviously the same as "It's a Wonderful Life." The angel without the wings comes to tell him about what the world would look like if he wasn't there. So Dale protests to him, "This is a trick. You're a clone sent by FEMA." So Rusty Shackelford snaps his fingers, and then they're transported into this alternate Arlen. So Dale gets to see what life would be like without him. Hank is completely bald because no one ever sold him that special pesticide that was actually water. Nancy is married to John Redcorn, and she now hosts the Real Stories of the Texas Highway Patrol.
Oh.
Joseph is a professional football player, but he's got Redcorn's mullet and refuses to believe Dale was ever his father.
Oh, wow.
Bill becomes a successful romance novel cover model because Dale wasn't around to drag him down into all of his weird schemes.
That could be a thing.
And Strickland Propane has been bought out by a charcoal company.
Oh, there you go.
So the final blow comes when Dale sees that Arlen has no Christmas spirit at all. Without Dale's over-the-top conspiracy theories and bizarre but endearing holiday antics, the neighborhood is dull and lifeless. Rusty Shackford turns to Dale and says, "See, you do matter. Sure, you're a paranoid weirdo, but the world needs weirdos like you to make things more interesting."
There you go.
So, boom, Act 4. He wakes up in his basement and he's just like, "Whoa, this was a dream." And then runs outside in his bathrobe and yells, "Merry Christmas, Hank. Merry Christmas, Nancy. Merry Christmas, government surveillance drones." And then he decides to make amends. So he buys Nancy an expensive gift. He apologized to Joseph for embarrassing him. And then he surprises Hank by showing up at Strickland Propane with a propane-powered snowblower to clear the lot for the party. And then to end the episode, everyone is gathered around at the Hill House for Christmas dinner, and Dale raises a glass of eggnog to toast to all my friends, my family, and the lizard people watching from a low atmosphere orbit. Merry Christmas. Everyone laughs and joins in on the toast, and Hank reluctantly mutters, "Merry Christmas, Dale." And this is my favorite part right here. I really, if anybody out there knows how to use the music AI stuff to create music songs with Boomhauer's voice, we hear Boomhauer singing an indecipherable version of Jingle Bell Rock, and that's
very nice.
So there you go. I thought
that's beautiful.
And while you were reading it off, I was thinking, I was like, I think it would be really, really funny to have a "It's a Wonderful Life," kind of like The Simpsons does stuff, where they kind of mock and mimic some pop culture stuff. I thought it would be a really funny for like a King of the Hill, "It's a Wonderful Life" kind of thing.
We did A Gift of the Magi, and we did It's a Wonderful Life.
There you go. Yeah.
So, I mean, we covered it all.
Good movies. Two really good movies. I love It's a Wonderful Life. Such a classic movie. A lot of people don't know that Drew Barrymore's great uncle is Mr. Potter.
Yeah.
Lionel Barrymore. So there's a fun fact.
Yeah, she comes from a big old acting family.
And then not just a big acting family, like goes back to like London theater in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize,
which is crazy when you look at her.
I was watching what movie was it? I was watching it's Bing Crosby. What is it called? Not
Holiday Inn?
No, I don't think it's even Bing Crosby. I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. Singing in the Rain. I was listening to that and I heard somebody mention Edith Barrymore. So I was like, I went on a little rabbit hunt and I started diving and I was like, wow, both sides of her family have this long history of acting. And she's the last surviving one, kind of, because at one point, one of her half brothers, her half sister and half brother, her half sister died in a car on drugs. She died of a drug overdose in a car. And then her brother was actually a drug addict too, and he ended up homeless. And while he was living on Skid Row, he wore a shirt that said, "I'm Drew Barrymore's brother."
Oh my God!
I thought that was kind of funny.
Wow,
funny and not funny, but I guess she doesn't have any relationship with them to help him out. But I thought it was kind of funny that Drew Barrymore's brother had like a shirt that said, "I'm her brother," while living as a drug addict on Skid Row.
That's insane. Yeah, that's crazy.
But she's the last one, really. She's like the last remaining Drew Barrymore. When she passes, since she has no children,
she's the last Barrymore.
She will be the last of the great Barrymore acting family.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I know this is a little shorter episode, and we're doing it from the house and all that stuff, but it is Christmas season. And like I say, you'll get this a couple of days before Christmas, but our greatest gift is you guys. We really appreciate you being here, and we hope that you guys have a great holiday. We'll get back at it and get going again with our regular episodes real soon. And until then, I think there's really only one thing left to say.
You can find us at bwaaa KO Teach everywhere. And also, I just want to say one quick thing. Thank you, everybody that continues to watch us everywhere. You like whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Scoops, wherever you're finding our videos and watching us. I appreciate the traffic. I appreciate the comments. Our YouTube, we're at 610 subscribers now. The last time we talked, we're at 600, so we've gotten 10 since then. So I appreciate those 10 subscribers for
keep going.
Bringing us to 610. I appreciate the people that help us with our short clips and getting those to me so I can get them out to you guys. I appreciate just the whole operation that goes behind this show for us, for me and Mike.
Yeah.
We've maintained and been able to be the number one on our network for a while now, and we really can't be number one without having the number one fan base in the King of the Hill podcast world. So we do appreciate
That's absolutely true.
Everybody that listens. I appreciate everybody that's found us any which way you found us, whether it was your friend telling you or you found us organically, whatever it may be. Like I said, without you guys, me and Mike are just two dudes talking into microphones at each other. So we do appreciate every bit of it. And here's to, we got next year coming up, and we're going to keep cranking it out. We're not done yet. We've got a whole half of the show to go yet, with the prospects of the new one coming up soon. So I think with that, the only thing I have left to say is Merry Christmas and Wimatanye.
Wimatanye, indeed. Now I have to find the button.
The button.
Because I know it's in here somewhere. There it is right there. Hey, by the way, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah,
there it is again. Bye. Goodbye.
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Ted drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
All right, there you go. That's one.
There we go.
And then I have the there's a Cracked article that is the titles of the first 10 episodes that have been leaked.
Yep, I've read that and seen some of that stuff. I think it's pretty cool, some of the titles that they've got going on here.
Yeah. All right, well, let's do it again. Let's do this real quick. We'll do this as a Friday.
Okay.
This will be the 27th. So let me play that real quick.
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Ted drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hello.
Well, hello there.
It is it's the Christmas season. We're actually a couple of days past it at this point. When you're listening to this, it is December 27th. And I'm having trouble with my camera here. So I gotta do something. I seem to be kind of look at that. How about I just do the whole show like that? That'd be great.
There you go. Yeah, sit
The
inside.
camera's all freaking out on me. So if you're watching this, I apologize. Good God, that thing is freaking the hell out. Woo! Okay, it's close enough. Hey, thanks for listening, guys. Welcome to Friday. This is That Ain't Right Friday. Hope you had a great Christmas if you celebrate that way. Hope you have a great holiday if you celebrate another way.
Yeah, whatever you celebrate, I hope it was a good one.
Yeah. I hope you got a wishbone or an apple or whatever it is they give people for Christmas.
A new candelabra.
New candelabra, sure. Just a candelabra, maybe
or menorah. Menorah, that's what it's called.
New menorah, sure. Candelabra is mostly a Vegas thing, but yeah. So today's a little different. Well, I guess not for a Friday. We're going to do a cracked article called "The Titles of the First 10 Episodes of the King of the Hill Reboot Seem to Have Been Leaked." Which
to interrupt you real quick, I got an email 6 days ago from Super ASDKE, one of the people that's always in our chat. He said, not sure how well this would work, but the 10 episodes of the upcoming reboot have their titles released. So maybe using the titles, you guys could attempt to predict the plots of each episode. I don't know if we'll go that far, but we'll discuss it a little bit. So I just
I figured we could go through them and just kind of give an idea of what we thought it might be.
Yeah.
I'd say this is written by Carly Tennes. I think it's Tennes, Tennes, at cracked.com. And the one thing I really liked is it says the title's first 10 episodes have been leaked. And then under it says, God dang it, Mike Judge, probably. Like, it not that it's a direct quote, it's probably.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So it says, King of the Hill's highly anticipated reboot isn't set to hit the airwaves until early next year. We're almost there. But we may already have a few clues as to what they're up to. It says Friday, December 6th is when this came out. We found that WGA had added several episode names, likely for the upcoming 14th season. And it says it's the following 10 titles were published under King of the Hill between December 23rd and November 24th. Yep. So these should be the titles of the first 10. First one, Return of the King. Now,
which is very, I think that's self-explanatory. Yeah. It's the return of King of the Hill, so the return of the King. So I imagine there'll be a cleanup kind of thing where they kind of clean up the last
15 years or whatever. Yeah,
and they kind of catch us back to where we're at now, bring us to the 2020 era.
And from what we understand, it's that Bobby has grown. He's be what 28 or something like that at this point.
Yeah,
right?
He'd be up there. He was 12 the last time we seen him. So yeah, 28's about right.
27, 28, something like that.
29.
He is a chef.
Depending on how far they age him, because it's all up to them really. Because he was 12
years.
Forever. He was
15 years.
15 years. Well, it depends on where they put him at for age, but yeah.
So, and he's a fusion chef in a restaurant in Austin, correct?
I don't think it's
Dallas.
It's Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas.
We don't
and crackheads, and most of them play for the Cowboys.
We don't really know. Roll your windows up. We don't really know what Hank and Peggy have been up to because that has not been leaked. We don't know how they're going to handle Dale. We don't know any of that stuff. We just know that this first one, it is just the return of the King. Figure out what's been going on. That should set the stage for the rest of the shows.
Yeah.
Second one, the beer story. That one, I immediately think when they ran out of Alamo, and had to go to Mexico.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Maybe that, or maybe it's Bobby's first beer with his dad or something. I don't know.
Could be that.
I feel like that would happen way before he turned in his 20s. I feel like when he's 15, 16, 17, it just seems like Hank was probably cracking beers while he was playing football in high school. Not while he was playing, but at that time frame. Because in the 70s and stuff like that, where Hank was in high school, there's a lot of beer drinking going on.
So, yeah, I just wonder if maybe somebody has to stop drinking. You know,
If anybody would have to stop drinking for health reasons, I
Bill.
guess it could be Hank too. Really, I mean,
Yeah,
Hank is
maybe.
somebody who's probably got hypertension from eating nothing but red meat and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I
What
don't
if they
feel
have to
like
stop?
if Peggy is the person feeding you, you're probably having some kind of health
You're
problems.
not eating great food. No, you're
You're not
having
eating
spa
very
Peggy and
good.
meatballs every Tuesday.
Yeah, and you're eating burnt pork chops and stuff like that. So
Your pork chops will be just as good later. It's fine.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know. I like to think that everybody's fit and healthy, but they are much older now, so I think it
Yeah.
would make sense for somebody to have to quit something.
So the third one is called chore money, chore problems.
I really think that alludes to a child, like somebody
I
who's
agree.
young,
I
whether it
absolutely agree.
be whether it be good Hank or whether it be I don't know her. I can't remember her name.
It's going to be
But
one of those two, though, right?
Luann's child.
Yeah,
Luann's
it's going to be
child.
Luann's kid or it's going to be Good Hank. And they're
Yeah.
at a point where they're getting money for chores, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's got to be what it is. Okay. The next one is Any Given Hill Day. So,
football thing, I feel.
yeah,
like.
Any Given Day is a football reference. And so that's got to be, so it makes me think that, well, I guess it could be either one, honestly. If it's Good Hank, maybe he's playing football in middle school or something.
And speaking of football, Tank Dell for the Houston Texans had a horrible injury today on his knee.
Saw that, yeah.
And I just want to give a shout out to him. Hopefully it's nothing too bad, and I hope he heals quickly and gets back out there on the field. He's a good young talent, but he just can't seem to. He had a bad injury his rookie year, and now he's got this real bad injury, and it's always right at the close to the end of the season that he's had these problems. So I hope that he gets good.
Some guys are just like that. They're just injury prone,
Yeah, well, he goes for it. He goes for catches and stuff like that that look uncatchable. Like the ball that he dove for didn't look like a ball that anybody was going to catch, and he managed to get it.
Well, and it was just I saw it. It was a freak thing. Like two guys landed on his leg and all that.
Yeah, and it's his own player that took him out too. One of his own teammates. So it's kind of tough.
So I'm assuming I'm going to go on record and say I think this is Good Hank playing football in middle school.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it'll be Good Hank playing football. Or what would be more interesting and funny is if it's actually Luann's daughter.
See, that's the other thing I thought. Yeah,
there's a lot of that going on. There was a girl when I was in high school. I'm not sure if she was on varsity or JV, but I know that there was a guy in my school that got lit up by her, and she concussed him, and he was on the sidelines crying and never lived it down.
Yeah.
And the people talked about people talked about that the entire of his high school career. Like, aren't you the guy that got knocked out by the girl? So, I feel like it might be something like that too. I think that
could be. Well, could be. Or maybe she's a kicker or something like that too. That could be.
There's a college, I'm pretty sure, that has a female kicker right now.
Yeah. The next one is called New Ref in Town. So to me, that sounds footballish also. Reference. But maybe
a cop, maybe could be referring to there's a new police officer in town or something like that they got to deal with, maybe.
Could be. Yeah, very well could be. The next one we have is Peggy's Fade Out.
I think it's Peggy's retirement.
You think so?
I think that might be Peggy's fading out, and they talk about how she's always struggled, period, to be anything. So I feel like
she's always struggled to be anything.
Well, she has, like, everything that she's done. Like, she did the column, and they took that away from her. Like, she brought a girl back from Mexico, and like she's done so many things, and some of the things that she does have like real world like legal implications. So I feel like something happens, and instead of having like this glorious retirement, I feel like Hank has to do something to like, nobody cares at the school. It's like she just kind of just fades into obscurity in the school, and no one cares. The principal doesn't care. And she's like, well, this is my last day. And she's like walking through saying, oh, this is my retirement. And just nobody gives a damn. So Hank has to come in and save the day with the neighborhood, and they all do like this elaborate thing for it at the end.
That could definitely be it. When I first saw it, I thought maybe she got a fade. Like she's got
I got a haircut.
faded haircut.
Yeah.
She's got a new faded haircut. The next one is Bobby gets grilled. So I'm assuming this is when we get the charcoal versus propane issue.
Yeah, some argument. Yeah.
Big time. Next one is no Hank left behind. So
I feel like Hank does continuing education. He does something like he's retired. He's not selling propane anymore, and he goes to learn how to make, a guitar or something like that. He does something, and he struggles while he's in there. So he has to get a tutor, and that like offends Peggy because he's getting somebody else to tutor him when Peggy can tutor him or something like that.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
maybe something along those lines.
I thought first thing I thought of was Home Alone, and maybe it's the holiday season or whatever. But I thought maybe Hank gets left behind somewhere.
Yeah, maybe that too. Yeah,
and has to figure out how to get back.
Yeah, that could be a good one too. Yeah.
Okay, we got two more. A Sounder investment. Now,
I feel like this one is scam calls or like a scam text or a scam
you
link
think so,
or something, and it's asking for Peggy specifically. I would think it would be or Bill. Bill might fall into that category, or even Dale might fall into that category too. And it's like a bad investment, and like Hank has to come in and that's a scam, and like go beat somebody up or something or maybe not beat somebody up, but go intimidate somebody and be like, well, you scammed him out of money. You need to pay him what you owe him before I put my foot in your ass or something like that, maybe.
So Sounder is a movie called it says the story concerns an African-American sharecropper family in the Deep South who struggle with economic and personal hardships during the Great Depression. So I'm assuming it's not any of that, but
I don't think so.
It'd be a little rough, to try to broach that. Now, the strangest one to me is the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the reason. Wasn't it Toby Huss that did Khan's voice?
Yes.
Yeah, they've already said that that's going to be a little dicey, right?
He's already said he's not doing that voice anymore for sure.
So this is titled Conscious Uncoupling, and it's spelled KAHN. SCIOUS.
On that one, I think it could go one of two ways: either Khan and Min are getting a divorce, or splitting up, or a mutual separation, or whatever it may be, or it's Khan Jr. and Bobby that are having some type of split up or breakup or something. Other than that, I'm not sure.
I guess it could be Khan Jr. and Bobby. Yeah, and to throw us off, they're saying conscious. That could very well be it. I hadn't thought about that. But I could also see it if they find a way to do their voices. I can also find I would totally believe that those two are splitting up.
Yeah, I could see that because it happens multiple times throughout the show anyway.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's it. That's all 10.
That's all 10. I hope there's more. I hope that this is just like
there'll definitely be more.
A weird leaked list. Well, that's the thing is we've discussed it before about it being like all the shows are nowadays, just 10 episodes instead of being the original 22 to 25, which I think that's more indicative of the industry than it is. I think that's more of an industry thing than it is of what the creators want. I feel like as attention spans have dwindled and gotten much shorter, I feel like that's why they chop these seasons down into 10 instead of giving you 20 to 25 episodes. I feel like they're like, oh, well, maybe they just don't have the attention span for 20 episodes, which I think is kind of shitty. I really hope there's more to season 1 than 10, but if that's all we get,
I think what you'll get is 10 for the first season and 10 for the second season. I think it's what you'll end up with.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Because that's basically an entire season they've done previously, but you get to split it into 2.
I just wonder how long they're going to go with it. If it's just going to be 2 or 3 seasons, or if we're going to get another 10 season run, that kind of thing. Because Futurama and them, they're all still going, and they've been going since the year 2000. So it's like, will they get a resurgence like that? Like, because they didn't really, like what we discussed before, they got shut down because of the Seth MacFarlane buzz and the fact that he was creating all these shows. And I really hope there's more. And kind of like I was in a box said right here in chat, he said, I really hope for more than 10. South Park itself kind of went from 30 episode seasons to only 10 a season too. And it is a bummer because we're used to, we grew up in the era where you got 20 full episodes a season for most any show that was being created at that time. You were getting 20 to 25 episodes. And now even with good stuff, like I started watching a lot of Taylor Sheridan's TV shows. I've never seen Yellowstone. I've never seen Yellowstone, but I've watched all of Landman. I've watched all of Lioness. I've watched all of Mayor of Kingstown. And you only got there's only 8 to 10 a season, and it's like, there's so much more to the story that you could do. But in fairness, those are 45-minute shows there too. So
now I've got 2 more things here. One is King of the Hill. One of the King is King of the Hill related, and one of them's not. Okay. So the one that's not, let's see. This is from, I'm trying to find out what day, December 21st. So this is very, very recent.
Yeah, recent. Yeah.
Day. Paul Rudd and Jack Black just announced a new movie together.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's the comedy retelling of Anaconda.
Yeah, it's 2 friends. I read about it. It's 2 buddies who go to the woods because they want to create a movie. They want to recreate the Anaconda movie.
Yeah, I love that. That sounds fantastic.
I think that's so meta.
With Paul Rudd, I'll watch.
Yeah, I like Paul Rudd a lot. I really like Jack Black a lot too. Have you seen that Dear Satan yet? The Dear Satan Santa movie? Hey, it is fucking hilarious.
Is it really? It's good. Huh?
The concept is so funny because it's like a kid writes a letter to Santa, but he doesn't spell Santa right. He spells it Satan, and instead a demon comes to him instead of Santa.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty fucking good.
All right, that makes sense.
And then one of the movies that since you're mentioning movies, one of the movies that I'm looking forward to is Nosferatu.
Yeah, Nosferatu is supposed to be pretty good. They say it's pretty.
And Sonic 3. I'm really big on Sonic.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, Sonic is my first video game. My first video game was on a Sega Master System in England in 1993. My dad was playing through the first Sonic over and over and over again until he could beat it. And I just love Sonic. And it's just a childhood thing.
Talking about Sonic, wife and I just watched a thing by those guys on YouTube. The channel is called Jolly, and it's 2 British guys who tried different American foods and stuff like that, right?
Okay, yeah.
A lot of the times what they'll do is they'll get like American foods and take it back over to like British high schoolers and let them try it,
Yeah.
This one was they were trying some British stuff, but they did it with Jason Schwartzman, and so not Jason Schwartzman, not who's Ben Schwartzman, the one that does Ben Schwartz, the one that does the voice of Sonic, and then
he's the one that does that really annoying dude on Parks and Recreation too.
Yes,
I can't remember his name, but
he is. Damn, what was it? It was like Jean Paul or something. Anyway, him and his sister.
Yeah.
Oh God, they're fantastic. He says about her, he goes, she's the worst. I mean, that's just
that guy. Yeah.
But anyway, he was on there and he was trying stuff with them, which is cool. He's promoting Sonic. But at the end of this, they gave him an original Sonic Master from England with
awesome.
Yeah, with Sonic, with the Sonic video game with it and stuff. And so that was kind of cool. I mean, they were
also.
He was talking about how he's got tons and tons of these video games. He's got this big video game wall and all this stuff, but he didn't have that, and so that's kind of cool.
Also, if you go to the YouTube page, "Video Games Are for Losers," I have a interview that I did with a buddy of mine. Me and him interviewed the guy who has the Guinness Book World Record for the largest licensed collection of Sonic memorabilia. He has the largest collection in the world of licensed Sonic memorabilia. He's been collecting it since the 90s, and he goes to anytime there's a release of the movie, he goes into the movies, gets all the buckets, gets everything that's Sonic related. They opened up a Sonic themed hot dog place somewhere.
Wow.
And Sega licensed Sonic, like Sega did it, like it's like a Sega supported thing, but they created a hot dog place somewhere in Houston or Dallas or somewhere, and he went. And this guy has a massive warehouse that he's built on his own property. It's climate controlled. It's dust controlled. No dust settles in there. No, nothing. No drinks are allowed in there. He's got the old arcade carpet that glows in the dark. He's got so much stuff. And a buddy of mine, I reached out to him. Sonic something 1991 on Instagram is the guy's handle. I'm sure if you type in Sonic 1991, you can find it. But he's been collecting Sonic stuff since '91, and he's in Texas. He's down in the Houston. He's east of Houston somewhere. But I thought that was cool to talk to him.
Yeah, you told me something about some of these guys.
Yeah.
You told me about that guy in particular.
Yeah, for sure. It was interesting. That was like our
is it Barry Evans? Is that the guy?
Yeah, that sounds right, maybe. Yeah, that sounds correct. I think that's his name, Barry. Yeah, Barry Evans.
I'm looking at your videos.
Yeah, that's him for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Barry Evans is his name. He's a really cool guy. He did like a walkthrough and showed us like everything inside of his collection room. But the guy is what I've never seen such a insanely dedicated guy. He buys the Good to Grow juices, the kids' juices with the heads on them. He buys, if it's Sonic, he buys it. If there's a toy at the store and it's got Sonic on it and it's licensed Sega Sonic, he goes and buys it. He's got a Schwartz Crystal, Swarovski, however you say it, Swarovski Crystal Sonic, like little kids' electric bikes, like little sit-on, ride-on toys. He's got gummy candies. I mean, just his rice cooker, it's just
it's got Sonic on it. He's got it.
It's just insane how much actual Sonic stuff. Rice Krispie treats, sweaters, wrapping paper. It's just Sonic the Hedgehog meatballs in a can thing. It really is
yum.
Truly insane how much Sonic stuff that this guy has. I was truly impressed. Like, as far as collectors go, I've never seen a more dedicated collector than Barry Evans.
That is cool. Hey, getting it back to King of the Hill stuff, I was in a box set. Another thing that scares him about the revival is help make it better makes it for older fans as well and not recreate everything for a new audience. And that's I think we're all a little worried about that, but
I think they're relying on the old audience. I think
he ends up by saying Mike Judge is going to rock it though, and that's what we gotta sit back and just trust Mr. Judge. So the last thing here, this is more King of the Hill related. In 1997, there was a company that started in San Antonio called the Alamo Beer Company.
Okay.
And so it's an actual thing. There's an actual Alamo beer now. This article is from December 18th of 24. They have partnered with the show King of the Hill to now start introducing King of the Hill themed Alamo beer.
Wow.
And this may give us some kind of insight as to when we're getting the show. Because it says it says Alamo Beer Company has brewed its own Alamo beer, but now with King of the Hill IP rights, they can bring the show to life, the beer from the show to life, including iconic can packaging, drinkable beer, all that stuff. So it's going to be an actual Alamo beer can that we can buy. It says King of the Hill inspired Alamo beer will hit stores in early 2025.
You should reach out to the company, Mike. You should send an email or something and see if there's any way that they would sponsor us. That would be awesome to have them as a sponsor.
It says starting with its home state of Texas in Q1 25 and then rolling out nationally in Q2 25. So that may mean that somewhere, let's see, what do we got? January, February, March. April. So maybe April is when we get the show, something like that.
Might be around the same time they launched the beer. And
that's what I'm saying. You have to start,
but I might drink a sixer of that stuff.
You have to start thinking that way, right? Because they're going to start getting all of these rights to things and getting all the stuff out there and things like that. So
it's a new world for merch than it was when the show was released, because The only people I know that sell licensed merch is there's this guy on King of the Hill Facebook page who has paid for licensing to be able to release King of the Hill stuff. And it's very limited what he releases and stuff like that, because he's just an individual just like me or you that went and paid for the license. And I think that in this new age of merch and things like that, they've got to capitalize on that as far as it's just a whole new world than it was, like, especially with media the way it is. So I don't know. I see that as being pretty neat. And I haven't drank beer in a long time, but I might buy a 6-pack of that just to have a beer of it.
Well, if nothing else, I want a 6-pack to set on the shelf behind me or something.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll reach out to them. We'll see what they say. If anybody else wants to reach out to them, feel free to do it on our behalf. But that is it. That's it until the new year. So we are thankful once again that you're here. Thanks for coming in on an abbreviated. We had an abbreviated Monday and Friday, but it is Christmas week. So we appreciate you guys being here. We wanted to have something for you, and hopefully this scratches the itch until we're all together again next time for an actual episode.
And I wanted to do another thank you to our audience. Our YouTube has, on December the 14th, we finally peaked 150,000 total views over the entire page, which in the grand scheme of things, that's not a massive number. People get that on one video, but the fact that we've finally broke that, I think, is cool for us. And I just appreciate everybody that's took us to 150K views.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, we just keep rising. And I want to say how much I appreciate all you guys being here. Thank you so much. And hope you had a great holiday. Hope many more are to come. And let's start off the new year the right way. Looking forward to the new continuation of the King of the Hill story. And
find us on bwaaa, 3 A's, KOTH, anywhere.
You got it. And last thing,
we Matanye.
We Matanye indeed. Happy holidays, guys. This happens every damn time I can't find the damn button. There it is.
bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Jack drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
All right, that's it.
Every time I hear that song, I think of how perfect it is for our show. Like, we really like, because I remember you sent me like 5 or 6 songs. I listened through all of them like 4 or 5 times, and this one I kept going back to. I was like, yeah, this has got to be it.
Yeah, I want to make a new intro, but I just want it to be shorter. Our
for sure.
Hey, that was 2 30+ minute episodes, so I think we did fine.
Yeah, we did good. No, that was a good. That was fun. I enjoyed doing the